Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for my 28-week pregnancy update. Now, before I get started with this video, I do want to go ahead and just mention a couple things. First off, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I talked about how when I was filming last weekend, my camera that I normally use to film fell off the tripod and it broke and it's being sent in for repairs. So I do have a backup camera that I filmed a little bit of footage on and I posted a new video with, but I'm just really not happy with the quality of it. So I am trying to film right now on my phone. So I'm hoping that the quality looks better than my older camera does and that I can get this to work in the meantime until I get my brand new camera back. But that being said, I'm not able to look at my phone and look at my like my symptoms and my stats and everything like that. So I'm just gonna do my best to try and remember everything that has been going on these past 2 weeks from my memory, because normally, like I said, I have it written down on my phone. And then I also can't show you guys like exactly what the baby looks like this week or anything like that. So I can kind of just give you a quick rundown on that stuff as well. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump into my 28-week pregnancy update, and I'll be going over everything from the past 2 weeks. So from 26 to 27 and 27 to 28, since I am 28 weeks pregnant today. And today officially marks being in my third trimester as well, which is absolutely crazy because we are only a few, well, not a few weeks away, but we're very, very close to the very end of the pregnancy because I am going to be having a scheduled C-section at or around within a couple days of being 39 weeks pregnant. So I won't be going to 40 weeks pregnant. So technically my pregnancy is over at 39 weeks, which means that we have about 11 weeks left, give or take, depending on if he decides to try and come earlier than that. But I'll go ahead and start with my symptoms and stats from 26 to 27 weeks. So at 27 weeks pregnant, I weighed in at 134.4 pounds, I believe it was. And I think that was like a pound or so weight gain from the previous week. I don't really remember. Like I said, I don't have my notes in my phone to look at to know the exact amount. But I weighed in at 135.4 pounds. And we had our 27-week checkup during this time span, and a lot of things happened. The first thing that happened was, well, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. If you guys watched my last vlog that I posted like 2 weeks ago or somewhere around there, I was taking my glucose screening test, which just checks how your body metabolizes sugar in your blood and to make sure that you are not at risk for gestational diabetes. I hope I'm explaining that right, but that's basically what that is. So you have to get, I think the number is like 145 or lower on your score when they draw your blood. So I had to do that test, and luckily we got our results back before our appointment that we went to for my 27-week checkup, and I got a 99, which is amazing. The last time I took my test when I was pregnant with Anastasia, I got an 87, so it was a little bit higher than last time, but it's still perfectly within the normal healthy range, which I was very, very happy about. I was a little bit nervous about it just because anything can happen, really. Pregnancy does crazy things to your body, so I didn't want to just tell myself that just because I got a great score last time, I was going to pass it with flying colors this time. So regardless to say though, I am happy that I passed it. I'm not at risk for gestational diabetes. Everything looks great as far as that goes. So we got those results back before we went to our appointment. Now, when we went to our appointment, a lot of things happened. The first thing that happened was, although I got a good score on my glucose test, the hemoglobin and another thing, I don't know what it's called, but I think the doctor referred to it as an HH score or something like that. She said it was low. And what this means is that I am anemic. And this is kind of frustrating because I have been like chronically anemic for as long as I can remember in my adult life. I think it's partly because when I turned like 18, I started like, really getting into like counting macros and calories and working out a lot, which meant that I wasn't eating a ton of like red meat and stuff like that. I was eating just a lot of like chicken and things that didn't have a lot of iron in them. So I started to become anemic because of that. And I was dropping weight. But once I got pregnant with Anastasia, and then after that, I was pretty good as far as like my iron levels went. And then up until just now recently, I haven't really had a problem with being anemic. But for whatever reason, I've dipped into the anemic range with my hemoglobin and the other thing that is part of that. So that's kind of frustrating, but she said to basically just try and incorporate more things that have iron in my diet. And I already eat a lot of that stuff. Like I have green smoothies a few times a week. I eat lean red meat very often. Like we have it with tacos and burgers and, you know, anything like that. So I'll just have to start paying more attention to that and trying to incorporate that as much as possible into my diet. And then she said if that doesn't work, then to just start taking iron pills. So that was the first thing we discussed. And then on top of that, she asked me how I've been feeling and stuff like that. And I told her that I've been getting a lot of Braxton Hicks. And I figured this was normal because I got Braxton Hicks with Anastasia, but I actually, before I explain what she said, I went back and I looked on my blog that I kept when I was pregnant with Anastasia because I didn't do YouTube, I just blogged my pregnancy with her. And I noticed that at this time exactly is when I started talking about Braxton Hicks and how they were kind of bothering me. And I've been having Braxton Hicks since I think like 20-ish weeks pregnant. I'll have to look back and see exactly when they started happening, but way earlier than when I was pregnant with Anastasia. And I get them all throughout the day. There's not a ton of them, but I probably get anywhere from like 5 to 10 a day every day. And I mentioned this to her and she seemed a little bit, not worried, but just kind of concerned. So she wanted to run a test for preterm labor. However, because I had had sex in the past 48 hours when I was at my appointment, she couldn't run that test, but she was worried about the chance of preterm labor. But since she couldn't run the test, she decided to check me, which was crazy because I never got a cervical check until I was like 36 weeks pregnant with Anastasia, somewhere around there. And like I said, this was our 27-week appointment. She checked my cervix and she said, luckily I am completely closed. I haven't dilated at all yet, which is really good news because it's still way too early to be dilating at this point in my pregnancy. But she was concerned about the fact that I've been getting really frequent Braxton Hicks. And she said that because I've had a previous C-section, that she was worried about, you know, the risk of preterm labor in my situation. And then on top of that, she wanted me to limit picking up Anastasia as much as possible because she said every time I pick her up, it puts pressure on my uterus. And because I have a weakened uterus, because I had a C-section, it just puts me at a higher risk for preterm labor again. So that's been something that's been kind of difficult over the past like week and a half or so, is trying to not pick up Anastasia. And to be honest, it hasn't really changed the amount that I pick her up because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't really have the option to just not, like, you know, pick her up to change her diaper or put her in her car seat or put her in and out of her bed and give her baths and stuff like that. Like, I can't just not do those things. That's part of my job as being a mom, and especially being a stay-at-home mom. So it's been really tough to try and cut back on that. And I'm gonna have to start doing it more seriously now because we are getting closer to actually having this baby. But that is something that she wanted me to pay attention to. And I think that's everything that happened at that appointment as far as I know. Just the risk of preterm labor, my glucose test results, which came back fine, and then not picking Anastasia up as much, and then just the fact that I'm now anemic. So that's everything that happened during 26 to 27 weeks. Now, this past week, from 27 to 28, this morning, I weighed in at 134.4 pounds, which is a pound down from last week, which is kind of random. I don't know why I went down a pound, but I haven't really changed much. We're doing a step bet right now. I'm hosting a step bet, which is where you basically just like challenge your friends to, you know, get your step goal for the day and walk a lot. So I've been walking a little more, but I don't know if that's enough to drop down a pound necessarily. It could just be, you know, anything random. I don't know. But I weigh 134.4 pounds right now. And I did look on the Bump app this morning and the Pregnancy Plus app, and it said that the baby is anywhere, well, actually on the Bump and Pregnancy Plus, they had like different sizes for the baby, but they basically said he could be anywhere from 1.5 pounds to 3.5 pounds, just depending on how big he is for his specific body type. So he's somewhere in that range. And then on the Bump app, I think it said that he is around the size of an eggplant. And then on Pregnancy Plus, it said that he was like the size of a box of chocolates or something like that, which is really cute. And basically at this point in my pregnancy, he is like, all the major vital things are like there and they're like functioning and stuff like that. But it's just kind of like they need to develop a little bit more and everything's just getting finishing touches. And he also needs to put on some more fat on his body before he makes his arrival. But other than that, if he were somehow to be born right now, knock on wood, we don't want that happening yet, but if for whatever reason he was born right now, he would have a really good chance of survival, which is good. But he still needs to be in there for another 11-ish weeks or so. So now that all the stats and stuff are out of the way, I'll go ahead and just go over everything that I have been feeling in this past week, which has been a lot. I want to say that this hasn't just been this week. It's mainly been like over the past like week and a half or so, pretty much after I had my appointment. This, like, my symptoms have started to pick up a little bit more. And the main thing is that I just feel so exhausted right now. Like, I am so tired. I'm sure you guys can tell by the way that I'm talking. Like, I'm just out of breath. I don't feel comfortable. I'm getting to that stage in my pregnancy where I'm kind of like entering the I'm over it phase. Like, my back hurts constantly. It doesn't matter how much I walk, drink water, stretch, exercise. I do all of that stuff every single day. And it doesn't matter. Like, my back is constantly hurting me. I can't breathe. Like, there's no more room in my abdomen for me to breathe, for my lungs to expand fully. And I'm just very, very tired. Like, I had that burst of energy in my second trimester where I wanted to get everything done, and I'm still like really majorly nesting in my head. Like, there's a million things in my head that I want to do and get done, but I physically cannot do them. And not just like, oh, I want to get laundry done and like put stuff away. Like, no, I want to literally redo my whole entire kitchen. I told Johnny the other day that I want to paint our cabinets white and put like a backsplash in our kitchen and do all these things. And I don't know why. Like, I don't remember feeling like this with Anastasia, where I wanted to like redo my whole house before she got here. Anyways, besides all that, like, I'm just exhausted. I'm tired. It's really, really hard to be this pregnant and be a stay-at-home mom with a very spunky toddler that wants to run around and is sassy. And it's tough because we don't have like a babysitter on hand that, like, you know, we just, you know, call up anytime we want. Like, if I were to want to go get like a coffee by myself for 2 hours, I don't have like a babysitter that could just, you know, come at the drop of a hat and just come do that for us. It's been tough to just not have as much time to like rest and relax and kind of like treat myself a little more the way I did when I was pregnant with Anastasia. Like, I was able to spend a lot more time just like nesting and taking my time getting things together and taking naps when I wanted to and when I needed them and all of that. So that's been a little bit tough. And then on top of that, I've just been so like emotional lately. Like, everything, I feel like my emotions on everything are heightened. Like, I'm getting more aggravated more easily. When I feel happy, I'm super happy. And then when I'm like sad or upset, I get really sad and upset, you know, like detrimental to my life. Like, I feel like my life is over when something bad happens. It's just been so, on top of being tired and then my emotions being so heightened, it's just been a lot to deal with. Like, I just want to spend a full week just relaxing, like floating in a pool, getting a massage. If I was able to drink a glass of wine, I would have some wine. Like, it's just been a lot. And it's hard because I feel like it's more difficult to really like soak in being pregnant because there's so much going on in our life and we already have a child, and like this is not the only thing that is happening in our life. So it's been really tough for me because it's like I'm trying to go at the same speed of my life, and like my body is telling me that I have to stop, which is hard. And it's frustrating because there's things I want to get done and things I want to do, and I can't do them alone. And it's not because I'm like being a damsel in distress, it's because my body is literally telling me I have to stop. That's how I've been feeling as far as like physically and emotionally goes for the past week or so. And then as far as like an actual symptom, the main thing that I've started to notice is that at night I am getting so freaking sweaty. And I am not a sweaty person. Like, it takes a lot for me to get really sweaty. Even when I'm working out, I don't sweat that much unless I'm like running outside for half an hour in like 100-degree weather. I'm not like a sweaty person. But for the past week or so, every night when I go to bed, basically every night, I am waking up like just drenched in sweat, just like down my chest and like my back, and my underwear is sweaty. Like, I just feel disgusting. And I've started to notice that I'm waking up almost completely naked because in the middle of the night, I'm just taking off my clothes because I'm so hot. And I'm not someone that normally sleeps naked. I don't usually find that comfortable. I like to sleep in just like a baggy t-shirt and just underwear, and that's comfortable for me. But I've been waking up in just underwear because I get so hot and so over it in the middle of the night that I just start taking my clothes off because I'm so sweaty. And this is funny because actually after I gave birth to Anastasia, one of my major symptoms was that I was sweating like crazy when I was sleeping. This is nothing like how I've been sweating now. It's like 10 times worse when you're postpartum. This is like a super common thing that a lot of moms experience after they give birth. It's just because of all those hormones, and if you had an epidural and you had like drugs in your system, if you had a C-section and stuff like that, like all these things are leaving your body, and there's so many like hormonal changes going on that you just get super, super sweaty. And I remember I had to literally put towels in my bed because I was waking up and soaking our sheets because I was so sweaty. So it's not as bad as that, but it's definitely like getting up to that caliber where it's like we're gonna have to start washing the sheets almost every night because I'm so sweaty in the middle of the night. Another thing that I noticed, actually I think this happened not this past week but the week before, there was one night where I experienced lightning crotch, and I've never had that before, and I think it was only this one time that I can really remember. But it basically felt like somebody was like elbowing my crotch, and it just sent like the shock of, it wasn't like intense pain, but it was just like not comfortable. It kind of felt like when you, I don't know if you guys remember when we were kids, they had like these little like fake gum things, and you would try and pull a piece of gum out and it kind of like shocked your hand a little bit, and it wasn't like painful, but it just didn't feel good. And that's kind of what it felt like. And this was only for one night. I don't know why it happened or what caused it. I haven't experienced it since then, but that was something new that I've never experienced before. Another thing that has started happening this week is that I am 100% over real bras. Like I'm wearing a sports bra right now because I can't stand real bras. Like the wires are digging into my chest because like my belly like pushes my chest forward, so it's not comfortable. And unless I absolutely have to, I'm not wearing real bras. I'm only wearing sports bras or nursing bras. And the nursing bra that I have is a little bit big because when I was nursing Anastasia, my boobs were like a cup bigger than they are right now, even though my boobs have grown since I've been pregnant. So it's a little bit big, so it's not the most comfortable, but it's definitely way more comfortable than my actual bras. So I'm not wearing real bras, only if I absolutely have to, like at a doctor's appointment or something like that. But I'm over the real bras. And the last symptom that I have noticed is that I actually have like a legit craving, and my cravings have been for ice, which is probably like an anemic thing, but I just want to chew on ice like all the time. And it's not just any ice, not just like refrigerator ice that's just come straight into your cup. It has to be restaurant ice, like the flat kind of ice that you either get like at a restaurant or a gas station, or like the crushed like little pebble ice. Or it has to be ice that's from the refrigerator that's been sitting in a cup for like an hour, so it's like really crunchy. Oh my gosh. I am just like, my mouth is watering thinking about it. Like I just want to chew on ice all day, and I'm not really like an ice person like that because it's so bad for your teeth. Like you can break your teeth so easily doing that. But it's been a craving of mine. And then I have also been craving extra minty gum, like Polar Ice flavored minty gum. I've been going through packs of gum like crazy. I don't know why, but just like ice and minty gum just are so satisfying to me right now. Not at the same time, because that kind of like hurts your mouth when you have like minty gum and ice going on at the same time. But anyways, that is everything that has been going on the past 2 weeks with my pregnancy. I cannot believe we're at the tail end. This is kind of like a little bit scary because now we have to like legit start getting things in place and start seriously preparing for this baby, because we haven't really done too much as far as that goes, but I know it'll get done. We still have some time. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below if you guys are also expecting. I love talking to you guys about how you've been feeling and the symptoms and things like that that you've been experiencing as well. And don't forget to stick around for the last little bit of this video to see my 28-week belly shot, because my belly has popped like crazy over the past month or two. I cannot believe how much bigger my belly has gotten in just a couple of short months. So stick around for that if you want to see that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Never thought it'd be easy to feel you in my arms, but now we're here and I'm all in, and I want it by you, 'cause I can stay till the morning or stay till the dawn, but just hold me now. I wanna be so much better whenever you're around. I wanna say something clever to feel so much better.